اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم. إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين. وضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب عليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون. وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أتخذوا من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغني عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كما أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا ونطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون. ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون. قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون. إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون. فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون. إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون. هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون. لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون. سلام قولا من رب رحيم. وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون. ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم. ولقد ضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون. هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون. اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون. ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون. ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون. ومن نؤمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون. وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين. أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وظللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون. واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون. لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون. فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون. أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين. وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم. قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم. الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون. أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم. إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سورة المباركة الفاتحة.
ज़हरा के भरे घर में तबा ही का समा है। ज़हरा के भरे घर में तबा ही का समा है। उठता हुआ शब्बीर के उठता हुआ शब्बीर के खैमों से दुआ है, ज़ाहिरा के बरे घर में तबा ही का समा है। कासिद से कह दो न सुना ए खते सुगरा, कासिद से कह दो न सुना ये खत सुगरा, लिपटी हुई अकबर के गले जैसे सीना है। गिर के संभलते ही चले, आते हैं शबीर। गिर के संभलते ही चले, आते हैं शबीर। ऐ दर्द ठहर लाश अली अकबर की जवां है। क्यों ज़ैनब कुलसूम की छिनती है रिदाएं, क्यों ज़ैनब कुलसूम की छिनती है रिदाएं, लुटती है नबी ज़ादियाँ, अब्बास कहाँ है। ज़ाहिरा के भरे घर में तबा ही का समा है। ज़ाहिरा के भरे घर में तबा ही का समा है। मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सलावत।
Let us all recite 5 times. I am Yujibu, for all those who are sick, for the safety of our Muslims, for the safety of our holy places, for safety from all the diseases, and for all with hajat. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب مضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Just a reminder, inshallah, on Sunday we'll have the Wafat of Hazrat Muslim. On Monday after Zohar we'll have the Amal, Arafah Amal, and inshallah on Tuesday morning we'll be having the Eid namaz here. A few words from our President, inshallah, and then we'll continue to Majlis. Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad salawat.
Sheikh Sailani, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Just a few short announcements. One is on Tuesday, we have our Eid al-Adha program. It'll be in the morning. Plan is to have it here at the center. We'll have more details in terms of how we're going to coordinate here at the center, but the program will be here starting at 8 o'clock with Dua Nudba, followed by the Eid Salah. One of the things that we didn't get a chance to do at the last Eid, and I said we would do it at this next Eid, is recognize our students. So each year we have our students that graduate from college, high school, advance from elementary to middle school. There was a note out. I think the ladies had it circulating in the chat group on WhatsApp, but as well, I'm making an announcement tonight. We can only announce what we know. Each year we run into issues where we tend to not recognize certain students, but we only can go with by what we know. So I urge everyone, if you can please email secretariat@sitpa.org or contact a member of the management or ladies committee to let us know. We'll be doing that recognition on Tuesday after the Eid Salah program. The other thing that's come to our attention, as you know, we've been kind of loosening up kind of what we're doing here with regards to how we conduct ourselves during this period of COVID. Following the month of Ramadan, as you saw, numbers locally here were going down. Not when I say local, not our community here in the High Valley where we live. The numbers were going down, and we were loosening up what we were doing here in terms of registrations. We didn't have any registration requirements. And as well, we eased up on our masking requirements as well. Since the majority of community here, at least we understand, to be vaccinated, we know there's still quite a few that are not. So again, we're trying to be as open as we possibly can here. We want everybody to come to the center. However, and this is kind of me now mutating on some of these decisions as well, because this is a constantly evolving thing. You've heard of the Delta variant. Well, there's a Delta Plus, an Alpha, a Gamma, and a Lambda. These are all the different variants right now that the world is talking about. And the one that's concerning us right now is this Delta variant that's from the UK and what we saw in India that's now here. And it's rapidly spreading. The bad news is the numbers, just since our MC meeting earlier in the week, has drastically changed. Early in the week, as you know, I look at this every day. The stats here were 1 per 100,000. We're already up to almost 4 per 100,000. It's only a matter of a week. So it's trending back up again. So again, we're always going to err on the side of precaution. So we'll be announcing the new COVID guidelines and standards. Again, I don't want to be restrictive here, but we also have limited capacity, as you can see. It has not been an issue. That's why we haven't had any reason to turn people away. We're getting an average of about 40, 50 people per side, and that's suitable. We can accommodate even more than that. But again, there is a max to what we can accommodate here safely. So if you are coming with your family, I will ask you, what works is sitting in bubbles. So sitting next to each other, make sure you're still spread out. If you're not from the same household, if you are from the same household, you can sit close together. So again, that's something really now we're relying on you to protect yourselves. The mask mandate. Right now, we don't have one. If you're vaccinated, actually we do. If you're vaccinated, it's up to you whether you choose to wear your mask or not, right? That's what the state has told us. It's what CDC has told us. If you're not vaccinated, you need to be wearing a mask. If you're elderly and have any medical condition, you need to be wearing a mask. This Delta variant, not to try to scare you, but again, as we're learning more as this week progressed, like I said, my view on this just mutated in a week. Last week, I was like, hey, this is move on. This week already, 4 days later, 5 days later, now that I'm understanding this more, we need to be a bit more cautious. People who have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, are getting sick with this variant. People are dying who are fully vaccinated from this variant. Okay, so please use caution. Again, we don't want to be restrictive here, but my recommendation for everybody, for your own benefit, and you don't see me wearing a mask because I hate the mask, but it's time to put the mask back on, especially as we start gathering on these programs for Eid al-Hajj and as we move on to the months of Muharram Safar, when we have our large gatherings. If you're coming to the center, please wear your mask. Two other matters. One, I'll talk more about on Tuesday, which is volunteering. But again, because we don't have everybody here in full capacity, we are shorthanded on volunteers. So those of you who are coming, again, volunteering is not us asking you for help. Volunteering is saying, is there anything I can do to help? There's a difference. That's volunteering, right? I don't like asking because sometimes I don't get the answer I like, so I don't ask, right? So, and Ali just absolutely goes berserk when people say, no, I can't help you, right? So we don't ask. So what we'd like to see is people coming forward and helping. I mean, there's enough of us here, and we've learned recently, I've not been around, others had to step up. That's what we need to do, right? It's always the next man up, right? So if we don't have our full force here, the rest of you who are here, both on the gents and ladies sides, we're kindly asking for help, right? And again, we're never gonna ask you the things that need to be done. We just look for you to come and see what those things are, and you know, we welcome the help. And the rewards are, as you know, plentiful, and not from us, they're from above. The other thing I want to talk about is the recitation of reciters. As well, since we're not here in full force, we are having issues with reciters. Now that we're here live, we expect all the reciters to be here live as well. I know we've gotten comfortable with the Zoom, and yes, we can do things remotely, but even you're seeing now that we have someone here at our member. Now, will that always be the case? It's still difficult to bring in speakers, right? As you know, some of you may have heard, we've had a challenge bringing in the speakers that we booked last year for Muharram this year, Muharram Safar. They can't travel from the UK yet to from America. They're not allowed to come to the country yet. There's still a ban on UK residents. So we've had to make changes to find speakers here locally, but we will have a live speaker here for the month of Muharram, and as well some of the larger nights. And as much as we can, we'd like to have our speakers and especially our local reciters to be here. Now it's hard, and I know these guys work pretty hard to get people scheduled. And there's a comment, there's always the same people reciting. Well, these are the same only people showing up to the mosque, right? So that's who's getting a chance to recite. Now, I know we had some reciters online tonight. Again, sometimes there are things that we can't avoid, but we'd like to see all reciters come to the mosque. And those who are coming, please work with Brother Shane and the programming team when they ask in the reciters group who's available to recite, because it's one of the challenges we're having right now to find reciters. And when they don't have someone here live, then they have to deal with me. So please spare them that. All right. So that's all we have. If there's any questions regarding anything related to COVID and safety and what we're doing at the mosque, if there are those who are still hesitant to come to mosque and have questions, please reach out. Happy to answer those questions. But again, if you're coming to mosque, I highly recommend that you wear your mask for your own safety, especially if you're unvaccinated. It is required. We're not going to check cards at this point. We might change that. We're talking about it, but something not desirable. We don't want to do that, right? We want to just leave it with you and trust your own judgment in terms of how you carry, conduct, and protect yourselves. So with that, we'll continue with our program.
بر حبیب خدا ختم الانبیاء محمد و آل محمد صلوات. وآل محمد. أحسنت. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم محمد وصلي على وآله. صلى الله عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. قال إمامنا محمد الباقر صلوات الله على أهل جابر بن يزيد الجعفي: يا جابر، إن المؤمن معني بمجاهدة نفسه ليغلبها على هواها، فمرة يقيم أودها فيخالف هواها، ومرة تصرعه نفسه فيتبع هواها. صدق إمامنا محمد الباقر صلوات الله وسلامه عليهم أجمعين. صل على محمد. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We commemorate in this night the Shahadat of Imam Muhammad al-Baqir salawatullahi alayh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. A beautiful page from our history. Ahlul Bayt, they represent our history. Our history represented by Ahlul Bayt, represented by the Quran, represented by the Ummah which was established by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Salli ala Muhammad wa alihi. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam lived almost 57 years. And he was born in Al-Madinah. He was born before the tragedy of Karbala 4 years. And he lived with his father, Imam Zainul Abidin, almost 38 years. And the period of his imamah was 19 years. He is the first Hashimi who is from Hashimi mother and Hashimi father. His mother is daughter of Al-Imam Al-Hassan, and his father is son of Al-Imam Al-Hussein salawatullahi alayhim ajma'in. Salli ala. How do we internalize Al-Imam Muhammad al-Baqir? How do we understand him? How does he inspire us? What does he need from us? What is our duties toward him? What does he has in his capacity, in his container? Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, or any Imam from our Imams, if you look to their relationships with the leaders at that time, it is not good relationships. If you look to their relationship with the leaders of that time, it is not good relationship. That's why they poisoned them, they killed them, they deported them, they imprisoned them, they tortured them. Why? Because the real leaders never agree with the fake leaders. The real believer never agree with the fake believer. And this is what happened with Ahlul Bayt. It was so sad. Now, if we have a student in college, graduate from the college, and he apply for a job. He has the best grade. He has a great honor from the college, university. Applied for the job, for company, with the government, with the county, and they denied his application. And they accepted someone less than his grade. How does he feel? Does he feel comfort? No, because he deserved for this position, but they chose someone else less than him. It is sad. And this is the same what happened with our imams. The ummah rejected them and they chose another people. They are not qualified for the position of leadership. Not because our imams, they lost the position. They don't care about the positions. They sacrifice with everything for al-Islam. They gave their life for al-Islam. They give everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But unfortunately, the ummah, they didn't realize and recognize this. And you see in internet today, you see too much dispute about the issue of imamah of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. There is doesn't need this dispute. As the Holy Prophet mentioned all the imams and gave their name, and he didn't see them. They were not born yet. This chain of 12 imam, it is a miracle by itself. I cannot say to my son, give my business to my grandson number 7, his name will be Ja'far, or his name will be Ali, or his name will be Taqi. No, I cannot do that. How do I know I will have 7 generations, 7 grandchildren number 7? How do I know will happen this to me? This is happened when the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Muhammad, said to Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari, Ya Jabir, you will stay alive. I give you good news until you see your 5th Imam. His name resembled to my name. His morality resembled to my morality. He gave him good news. I cannot give this news to anybody. You will see my 5th grandson or my 6th grandson, and his name will be this and his name will be that. That's a miracle. So Jabir, when he carried this news, and Jabir, how did he recognize Al-Imam Muhammad al-Baqir? He recognized him from his footsteps. Look like the Holy Prophet. Look, his tongue look like the Prophet, his speech, his thought. That's why he said to him, he was blind, Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. In most narrations, he was blind. Some narration is weak. They say no, he was not blind. He was in Karbala, doesn't see, because he was crying and crying. His eyes was full with tears. That's why he said to his companion, Atiyya al-Awdi, he said to him, take me and put my hand on the grave of Hussein, because I don't see, because of crying. But this is a weak narration. He was blind in Karbala. The most narrations say he was blind. Anyway, he was blind in the time of Al-Imam al-Baqir. How did he recognize Al-Imam al-Baqir? From the footsteps of him. And when he met him, he said, you have salam from your grandfather, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. Now, if someone come and tell me, Sheikh, someone sends salam to you, I will say, wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullah. When he said, I have salam from your grandfather Rasulullah, look to the ethics, look to the morality. Al-Imam said, wa alayhi. First, he said, the messenger, wa alayhi wa alayka as-salam. Between us, I will say first to you, wa alayka wa alayhi as-salam. But because of the messenger gave him more honor, gave him more respect. And this is how we have to deal. If that's the one sent me salam is older than the one who carried the salam, I have to put the older one more than the one who carried the salam and brought the salam to me. This is the behavior of Ahlul Bayti salawatullahi alayhi. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he was in the time when the Umayya emperor was so strong in power, and he has seen 5 governors from the Umayya dynasty. The first one was Al-Walid ibn Yazid. Al-Walid ibn Abd al-Malik, sorry. Al-Walid ibn Abd al-Malik, the one who poisoned Imam al-Sajjad. The second one, Sulaiman ibn Abd al-Malik, 2 years, was very harsh person. Yes, he killed al-Hajjaj. Sulaiman ibn Abd al-Malik killed al-Hajjaj, but he was very corrupter. The third one came Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz. If you compare him with the others, he is better. And that's why in his time, Imam al-Baqir has opportunity almost 3 years to spread and disseminate his knowledge. So after him came Yazid ibn Abd al-Malik. Yazid ibn Abd al-Malik, the one in the history who brought 40 scholars to sign for him. He is a right leader. He is a real governor. After him came Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik, and he repeated the days of Yazid ibn Muawiyah. He repeated the days of Al-Walid ibn Abd al-Malik, Sulaiman ibn Abd al-Malik, and so on. Al-Hajjaj, he repeated their days. If you look to the Muslim Ummah, you see all the nations, they changed. All the nations, they have democracy, they have freedom. But unfortunately, the Muslims Ummah, they still mention Yazid, and they honor Yazid, they honor Al-Hajjaj. They issued some books, such kind of Ummah. What do you expect from them? How they will make progress? Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, he lived in such kind of emperor, 5 Umayyads leaders, and he faced many trends, many directions. They are against al-Islam in his time, and he warned his followers to join them, and he asked his followers to disclose them. For example, al-Ghulat, extremism, fanatics. Al-Ghulat, they said, Ahlul Bayt, they created people. Look how they bring a fake hadith, they put them in the time of Imam al-Baqir. They said, Ahlul Bayt, they create people. Ahlul Bayt give rizq to people. Ahlul Bayt make this person die, this person alive. Imam al-Baqir stood in front of them and he said to them, no, yes, Allah grant us with some miracle, but we are created people, but Allah chosen us. Allah reward us with his mercy. If Allah punish us, it depends on our sins. This is how Imam Salamullahi alayhi, Allah gave them the miracle, but the miracle doesn't happen in any time unless there is a dispute and you need proof, evidence, the miracle will come. Like Jesus, He used to raise the deaf people up. What do you mean? Jesus was walking in the cemetery. Anyone he wants, anyone he like it, he say, hey, you, get up, wake up. No. Unless there is a dispute to bring an evidence, to bring a proof. And this is what Jesus said in the Quran, يحيي الموتى بإذن الله, with the permission of Allah. He made people alive, resurrected people back. So Imam faced such kind of people, and this is the worst people they were, to correct their brain, to correct their mind. To benefit from the time, what do we learn from Imam? How do we internalize the Imam? And this is what he said to Jabir ibn Yazid al-Ju'fi, one of his great companion, Jabir al-Ju'fi. That Jabir al-Ansari, this is the Jabir al-Ju'fi. This is the one who saw Imam al-Sajjad, Imam al-Baqir, Imam al-Sadiq, was very good students. And Imam sent to him a letter. When he received the letter, he saw the seal of this letter. He was in Kufa. The seal of this letter is still fresh. You know, when you put letter, you put wax in it, seal it with wax, glue, whatever. He saw it is very fresh. He asked the one who brought this letter. Letter was dispatched to him. He said to him, how many days you left the Imam Muhammad al-Baqir in al-Madinah? How many days between you and him? He said, only a couple minutes. He said, couple minutes before a prayer or after a prayer? He said, after a prayer. Now here in America, we have express mail, right? Ahlul Bayt, they have express mail, but when they have express mail, they used a jinn. He sent the letter with jinn, his name Tawil. He sent this letter with jinn. They use the jinn as mail, express mail. So he said to him, how many days you are between you and Imam? He said, couple minutes between me and Imam. He just finished the prayer and he gave me this letter to you. Jabir al-Ju'fi was sitting to one of his friends. He opened the letter and his face changed. What did the Imam wrote to him? Ya Jabir, I want you to claim to be crazy. I want you to become insane. Make yourself majnoon. Make yourself crazy. Jabir al-Ju'fi, a big scholar, he said to him, make yourself crazy. And he started to make himself crazy. People laughing on him. After a couple weeks, letter came from Hisham ibn Abdul Malik from Asham, asked the governor of Kufa to kill Jabir al-Ju'fi. He said to him, well, how to kill Jabir al-Ju'fi? He's a crazy man, the children laughing on him on the street. He didn't know why Al-Imam said to him to do yourself crazy. But he is obeying Al-Imam. He didn't say to Al-Imam why. This is how people follow Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam and their Imam. When they tell them stay home, they stay. When they tell them be out, be out. Make yourself crazy, he claim he is crazy. But later on he realized when Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, when Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik is gone, or Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, he realized why Al-Imam al-Baqir said to him to make yourself insane. So Jabir al-Ju'fi gave him Al-Imam some message. He said, Ya Jabir, inna al-mu'mina ma'niyun bimujahadati nafsih. This your soul, you have to fight it, to control it. One time is work with you. and one time defeat you, the soul. You have to make a victory on your soul. Not whatever your soul wanted, you give her. Sometimes the soul, whatever want, I give it to her. Otherwise, I will say I will have a depression. I will feel depressed. I don't feel depressed if I mention the grave to the soul. There is no depression. I don't feel depressed if I mention al-barzakh to the soul. I don't feel I am depressed when I mention to the soul the pressure of the grave and the day of judgment. There is no depression for that. Depression will come if my pocket has no money, is not full with money. Depression will come if people don't praise me and don't respect me. I am a big person. Depression will come if I have a shortage in food. This is the depression come, or medicine or something. The depression doesn't come from a grave or death or pressure of the grave or barzakh or day of judgment. So Imam said to him, Ya Jabir, if you want to make a victory on your soul, you want to make a victory on your soul, you have to struggle and struggle many times. What we have to do to make our soul straight? It is very easy. Just keep your prayer in time. Your prayer, if you pray in time, you make this soul will go the way you want. If I don't pray on time, I am careless. Wallahi, even I pray 100 years, my soul is not going to be straight and controlled. Even 100 years I pray. If I don't pray in time, I have to push on this force. Otherwise, will defeat me, this soul. So that's the first message Imam gave it to him. The second message Imam gave it to him, he said to him, Ya Jabir, للشر أقفال ومفاتيح تلك الأقفال مفاتيح تلك الأقفال الشراب والكذب أشر من الشراب. He said, Ya Jabir, the evil look like box. The evil look like boxes. And these boxes, they have the key. The key to enter to the evil is liquor and lying. But listen, lying is worse than the liquor. Why? Why the lying is worse than the liquor? He said, the evil, they are boxes. And these boxes, they have keys. And the keys, they are the liquor and lying. But listen, the lying worse than the liquor. Now, alhamdulillah, when mu'mineen come to the mosque, any mosque, when they come to the mosque, is there anyone think about liquor to drink? No one think about this. Never come to our mind. But how many they think they are not going to lie? Do we carry this idea in our mind? The liquor, we never think about it. Never come to our mind. But also will come to our mind not to lie, not to backbite. And the liquor is not in the mosque. In the mosque, Quran, dua, prayer, majalis. The liquor is outside. But the lying, you could see it inside the mosque. That's why Imam tried to build our personality. He said, الكذب أشر من الخمر. is worse than the liquor. Why? Because lying will lead us to immorality, and immorality will lead us to the fire. إن الكذب يهدي إلى الفجور والفجور يهدي إلى النار. That's number 2. The number 3 said يا جابر عاداك من ستر عنك الرشد اتباعا لما تهوى. Sometimes you come to me and you said, Sheikh, you have this kind of business. I want to do the same business. Can you tell me about this business, about the income, about the laws, about the difficulties, about the problems, advantage, disadvantage? And I know inside myself, this business is the worst business. It's very hard. No income, no good income, many problems, many challenges. I know this, but I see you have money and you wishing to have the same my business. I will say to you, yes, go ahead. It's very good, very profitable business, very good, lucrative income you will have. I lie to you. Imam Salamullahi alayhi said, the one who hide the reality from you, he is your enemy. The one. So what does mean this? Means if you want to consult something with someone, choose a righteous person. Choose a faithful person. Choose the one who has Iman. Choose the one who has a faith. Choose the one who is fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is, we give example, just business. Maybe someone want to marry some girls, ask about the girl, or ask about the husband, and so on. I have to say the reality. Imam said, Adaka, your enemy. Your enemy, the one who hide the reality for you because you wish to have something like him. You want to have like his business, but he hide the reality from you. We say, Al-Mu'min mir'atu akhihi al-Mu'min. Al-Mu'min, he is a mirror for his brother. Al-mirror, when I stand in front of the mirror will show me what is my vices, will show me something wrong with my shirt, something wrong with my beard, something wrong with my hair, with my eyes, will discover for me all the mistakes. Al-Mu'min, the same, is a mirror for his brother in Islam to tell him what is the right, what is the wrong. And I conclude with the last one from Imam. He said to him, Ya Jabir, you have to realize, and موتك بالذنوب أكثر من موتك بالأجل. You die in the sins more than you die with the angel death. Death of angel. Angel of death. Angel of death, how many times he comes to me? One time he comes. He doesn't come every day. He comes one time to me, take my soul out, right? This is the angel of death. But when I commit a sin, I die more than the angel of death came to me. How? This is the philosophy of that. If I commit sin in my eye, there is one spiritual branch will be paralyzed in my eyes. My eyes physically is okay, but there is a spiritual branches also in my eyes. One of them will die. If I commit another sin, another one will die. If I commit another sin, and so on, until I never be shy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Easy for me to look for haram. The same thing with my hand. If I commit a sin, there is one spiritual force will die in my hand, or will be sick, paralyzed. to pay istighfar, to give istighfar. Istighfar is working slow, like the antibiotic. The antibiotic works slow. There is antibiotic 5 days, 10 days, in the hospital maybe 1 month, more, less. When we say astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh, he doesn't correct to you right away this death branch. You have to repeat the istighfar once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, until you bring that force back to normal. So, so these branches, they die more than the angel death will come, will take my soul right away. So Imam said, وَمَوْتُكَ بِالذُّنُوبِ, your death in the sins is more than your death with the angel of death. More. So I have to pay attention. If I commit the sin, I need to ask Allah for forgiveness. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and so on. That's the school of Ahlul Bayt, how will teach us. Otherwise, these spirituality forces, they will die inside myself. They will be sick. They will be paralyzed. I don't feel my prayer. I don't feel my ibadah. I don't feel recitation of Al-Quran. There is something wrong inside myself. I need istighfar. As I need antibiotic to work for a long time, I need istighfar to do for a long time until I bring that branch back to normal. Until I bring that force to normal. And he said to him, the last, وَحَيَاتُكَ بِالْبِرِّ أَكْثَرُ مِنْ حَيَاتِكَ بِالْعُمْرِ. How long we want to live? 70, 80, 100, 120, we will go. But when you perform a good deed, you will get the hasanat more than your age, 120 years. You are in the grave and the reward comes to you because you supported poor family, or you support the mosque, or you supported orphan. And so that's why he said to him, your life is more than your age. Your life with a good deed is more than your age, normal age. So whatever we give here to support, to help, you are in the grave, and there, and the hasanat, the deed, it comes to you. More than your age, how long do you live? 60, 70, 100, and so on. This is Al-Imam Muhammad al-Baqir, salawatullahi alayh. And this is what we learn from him in this lecture, and many lessons, inshallah, will learn from our Imam. So Imam salawatullahi alayh lived almost 57, and Husham ibn Abdul Malik decided to end the life of this Imam salawatullahi alayh. He sent to him a gift saddle to put it on the horse. When Imam sit on that saddle, and the poison came through, was poison, severe poison. When this poison came to Imam salawatullahi alayh, and Imam feel it, and his intestines was cutting off, his stomach was inflamed, and Imam salawatullahi alayh was lifting 1 feet and putting another feet. Then he called his son Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq. He said, "Ya son Ja'far, if I die, I left 8,000 dirham. I want you to use them for the majalis of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein in Mina in days of Hajj. Spend every year 1,000 dirham for the majalis." This is our Imam. That's why we read in Dua al-Tawassul, Ya Aba Ja'far, Ya Muhammad ibn Ali al-Baqir, Ya Wasiya Rasulullah, يا حجة الله على خلقه، يا سيدنا ومولانا، يا سيدنا ومولانا، إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله، وطلبنا منك حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله. raise your voice يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا يا وجيها عند الله. Son Ja'far and mention the Musibah of Abu Abdullah, especially when the people set a fire in the tents of my grandfather Hussein. I have seen the women, my aunts and our family, they run in the desert from one place to another place. And you should see the children, they run from one enemy to another enemy. Then mention Musibah, the Fatima of Imam Hussein, daughter of Hussein. When our aunt Zainab missed her in that night of 11th of Muharram, Zainab missed Fatima. Ask Kulthum. Kulthum, did you see Fatima? I don't see her. She said, no, daughter of Ali, I didn't see her. Then Zainab left him that night, left the tent. She saw a soldier outside. She asked him, what are you doing here? He said, Umar ibn Sa'ad asked me to protect you this night. She said, you protect us after the eyes of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. She said, oh soldier, did you see any girl? We missed one girl. We don't know where did she go. He said, I didn't see her, but I passed by the battlefield. I heard a noise in that area. Go there, maybe she is sitting there and crying. Then of Zainab came to the battlefield and the girls, she hears someone coming. Zainab heard her. She said, Fatima, don't be scared. I am your aunt Zainab. Then Zainab came to her. She said, daughter, how did you reach here? How do you know this is the corpse of your father Hussein? There is no head on it. And you see what they did to his body. How do you know this is the body of your father Hussein? She said, and when they set the fire in our tent, I ran away. Then I called the father Hussein. I got lost where I will go. And I heard a noise from this neck. Daughter Fatima, come to me until I arrived here. Then Zainab cried, said, Ya Hussein, you are our Imam, you are our guide, you are our leader. Then Imam al-Baqir said, Ya Ja'far, I hear Sakina said, she has seen dreams. She said, I saw my father Hussein said, شيعتي ماء شربتم عذب ماء فاذكروني. My Shia, if you drink a cold water, remember me. أو سمعتم بقتيل أو غريب فاندبوني. If you hear they kill someone innocent, some stranger innocent, remember me. فأنا الصبط من غير ذنب ذبحوني. I am the grandson without any sin. They slaughter me. What else? And after they killed me, they crushed my body with the hoofs of horses. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. مأتمي يا حسين.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Aziz o Muhammad Baqir uça जग से हजार अफसोस शहनशाह है जो आलम वो उठा जग से हजार अफसोस अजीज मोहम्मद बाक़ी उठा जग से हजार अफसोस अजीज मोहम्मद बाक़ी उठा जग से हजार अफसोस खुदा सजा परेशान क्या क्या कहूँ है आज़ादारो खुदा सजा परेशान क्या क्या कहूँ है आज़ादारो पड़ी है धूम मातम की जहाँ में है आज़ादारो अजीज़ो मुहम्मद उठा जग से हजार अफसोस अजीज़ो मुहम्मद बाक़ी उठा जग से हजार अफसोस मेरी राहत नहीं जम्बर अली की आज को सद है मेरी राहत नहीं जम्बर अली की आज को सद है किसी को मारा खंजर से किसी को ज़हर से सज है अजीज़ मुहम्मद बाक़ी उठा जग से हजार अफसोस अजीज़ मुहम्मद बाक़ी उठा जग से हजार अफसोस या हुसैन
या हुसैन
या हुसैन
या हुसैन या मजलूम हुसैन जाना मजलूम हुसैन जाना मजलूम हुसैन जाना
मजलूम हुसैन
जाना मजलूम हुसैन जाना
मजलूम हुसैन
जाना
قسما بالله داهي الأرض خلاق السماوات وبما جاء به جبريل من وحي وآيات أناديه بكرامة إلى يوم القيامة سأذوق الموت بالعز ولا للذل هيهات أجرز خنجر خنريز لبيت شنب بران سرمره أجرز تيخ شكافر درن أرس يخون جگر امره أجرز تيرس شعبه بدهن داب بزشير قلنا وسمر امره أجرز داغ برادر شكند خسم ستمگر كمر امره قتيل العبرات أسير الكربات أو هل تكتب أحزاني في الطف بحبر ودوات أبدا في الحزن لا يكتب إلا بالدموع جاريات مظلوم حسين جان مظلوم حسين جانا مظلوم حسين جانا بنبي عربي ورسول مدني وأخيه أسد الله المسمى بعلي، وبزهراء بتول وبأم ولدتها، وبسبطيه وشبليه وما نجل زكي، وبسجاد وبالباقر والصادق حقا، وبموسى وعلي وتقي ونقي، وبذي العسكر والحجة القائم بالحق الذي يضرب بالسيف لحكم أزلي، بمحمد ومحمد بعلي وعلي. مظلوم حسين جانا، مظلوم حسين جانا،
مظلوم حسين جانا. محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين، وعلى 9 المأسومين من ذريتك، علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان، سيدي الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان، عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته.